So imagine this, just a single pill, plus a tweak in timing, and suddenly not one patient dies. Can something as simple as when you give a treatment really change the outlook for inherited breast cancer?
Today's date is 2025-05-17. Let's dive in. Cambridge researchers have just published a clinical trial showing a 100% survival rate over 3 years for aggressive, inherited breast cancers with a new treatment strategy. Have we ever seen a result like this in these cancers before?
Not for these cancer types, no. The study focused on patients with BRCA1 and BRCA2 mutations. Those are the same genes people heard about when Angelina Jolie had her preventative surgery. Usually, these mutations mean a much higher risk and more aggressive breast cancers. Up until now, treatments haven't been able to guarantee outcomes, especially not a complete survival rate within the critical 3 years after surgery.
But the trial wasn't just about the drugs themselves, was it? They changed the way the drugs were given. Can you walk us through exactly what the researchers did differently?
Right. There were two main changes. First, they added olaparib, that's a targeted drug, on top of standard chemotherapy. Second, and this is key, they put a 48-hour gap between the chemo and the olaparib. That timing matters. It gives the patient's bone marrow time to recover, but it leaves the tumor cells more vulnerable. Do you know why that's especially important for cancers with faulty BRCA genes?
Yeah, BRCA genes are crucial for repairing DNA damage. If those are broken, cancer cells already have trouble fixing themselves. Chemotherapy adds more damage, and then olaparib blocks another repair pathway. So, in effect, cancer cells get hit twice at their weakest point.
Exactly. In the study, 39 patients got this sequence: chemotherapy, wait 2 days, then olaparib. After 3 years, every single patient survived, and just one experienced a relapse. For comparison, in the control group, which only received standard chemotherapy, 9 out of 45 relapsed, and 6 died. That's a big difference.
But 39 patients is still a pretty small group. Is that enough evidence to actually change how doctors treat BRCA-related breast cancer right now?
Not yet. The results are promising, but we need larger trials to confirm them and to track long-term outcomes. There's also the question of whether any unexpected side effects show up over time. Plus, researchers will need to look at how cost-effective this approach is compared to what's already used.
That brings up something else. Olaparib is already available on the NHS, isn't it? So, if future studies confirm these findings, could doctors adopt this new regimen quickly? Or are there obstacles to making that happen?
The fact that olaparib is approved helps, but there are still barriers. For one, olaparib is expensive, and in lower-income countries, it can be much harder to get. Also, you need genetic testing to see if a patient actually has BRCA1 or BRCA2 mutations. Not every healthcare system has the resources or specialists needed for that. So equity and access is definitely going to be a challenge.
Makes sense. And if this approach is working for BRCA breast cancers, is there a chance it could help with other cancers that have similar problems with DNA repair?
That's what researchers hope. There's already another small study, the Ophelia trial, where olaparib plus trastuzumab showed promise for patients with HER2 positive advanced breast cancer who also carry BRCA mutations. Scientists are also looking at olaparib for other cancers that have DNA repair defects, not just breast cancer.
So, potentially, we're moving toward much more personalized and targeted treatments for inherited cancers. But to make that work globally, it sounds like we'd need coordinated policies and investment, especially in diagnostics and training oncology teams.
That's right. It's not just about the medicine itself. There are policy questions and infrastructure hurdles too. Still, the top-line result is striking: 100% survival in a group that usually faces a much tougher prognosis. It really shows what can happen when researchers rethink both what drugs to use and exactly how to use them.
And interestingly, this research started with a chance conversation between two scientists. Does that just go to show how much collaboration and sometimes a bit of luck matters in medical breakthroughs?
Absolutely. Sometimes all it takes is one conversation, and a new idea can change everything. For patients who would have faced far worse odds, this really opens up new hope.
Which brings us back to where we started. Sometimes the smallest change in timing can mean the difference between life and death.
Thanks for being with us today. We hope you'll stay tuned for more stories that show how science can challenge what we think is possible and really make a difference.
And thank you for listening. For more updates, keep tuning in.